Hi everyone, my name's Emma and I'm the Principal Migration Agent here at Freedom Migration. Now today we're going to talk about checklists. I often get asked, or our team often gets asked, do you have a checklist? Or is there one single checklist we can use to get started on preparing our documents? The short answer is no. There's not just one checklist when it comes to partner visas, and the reason being is no two relationships are the same. So my relationship with my partner is really different from my colleague's relationship with her partner. And likewise, the relationship checklist that you put together, or the evidence that you put together to show immigration that you're in a genuine continuing relationship, is going to be different from couple to couple. When putting together a partner visa, there's certainly going to be some documents that are similar or maybe consistent no matter who the couple is putting the application together. So some examples of that might be passports. Most people will need a passport size photographs, birth certificates. But in evidencing your relationship, and that is that you're in a genuine and continuing relationship, teaching immigration about the background of your relationship, when you first met, how you manage the finances in your relationship, what you do socially, how the household operates, so who does the cooking, who does the driving, who takes the rubbish out. The way you evidence all the different aspects of your relationship is going to be different. And at Freedom Migration, we've never seen one couple that's had the same evidence or the same evidence checklist as another couple. So at Freedom Migration, I'll explain to you how we put a checklist together. So we start with our visa planning session, and that's where the couple sits down with us and gives us all the background information about how they met, whether they met in person, maybe out or maybe online. And then we go through each of the phases of their relationship. So when did they first tell their family about the relationship? When did they introduce their partner to their friends? Have they been to any weddings together? Do they share finances? Do they share money? Do they send money to each other from their own individual bank accounts, or do they have a joint bank account? What are their plans for the future? And as I mentioned before, what's the household like? Do they live together? Do they receive shared mail, or do they receive separate mail but at the same address? So we sit down one-on-one with the couple, get all the background information for two reasons. One, so we can give them advice about whether or not we think they're going to meet the visa requirements, but secondly, to start the process of putting that tailored checklist together. So then the couple can go away and ask, or go and hunt for exactly what they need to put the relationship evidence together. Putting the relationship evidence together, usually the checklist is twofold for us. So once we see all of the evidence, we review it and start to see what's helpful evidence, what's something that you probably can't really back up and prove that it's something that that couple did. So an example might be concert tickets. So if a couple that we're looking after have been to an AC/DC concert, or let's say they went to the Adele concert recently, then we might use the tickets that may not have their names on it, and then a photograph showing that the two of them were there together. So that evidence process, or putting together the checklist, can be two stages. Now, to give you a better understanding of what I'm talking about, and to give you better advice about how to put a checklist together, and all the reasons why I strongly discourage you from relying on a generic checklist that you found somewhere on the internet, I've provided more information in the blog below. So if you just click below, there's a link there. And I've started to work on a little bit of a sample piece where I've reviewed my relationship with my partner versus my colleague, Sophia, her relationship with her partner. So we've put together just a sample. It's probably a quarter of what would be needed to evidence a relationship, but it just gives you an understanding of what I'm talking about when I say that evidencing the history of your relationship will be very different to your friends or someone who's put a generic checklist together online, or someone in a forum for that matter. So have a read. It is a long one, but it's a really important one, because evidencing your relationship is one of the biggest parts of putting together a partner visa. So have a read. If you've got any questions, please feel free to comment.